2008. And the first one that known to me for the entire day after this was the 14-13 loss to Vanderbilt.
In Nashville.
In Nashville.
Yeah.
We were winning 13-0. I thought we were going to be on a roll.
Yeah, well, that we changed up the offense. We came out and, I think, we ran basically the entire first quarter and just ran it down Vanderbilt's throat. Looked like maybe we had found something, because the offense had been so stagnant to start the season. And obviously we missed a field goal. I think we missed an extra point down there and to make it 13. And it just, I don't know. I'm like you. That one, I wasn't there, but yeah, that one was disappointing.
I mean, you just don't lose to Vanderbilt. And I knew then, this ain't going good this year.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
And then the other game was right at the end of the season at home. We were playing Arkansas, Houston Nutt, which I despise that man. We were beating Arkansas until the last, 2-3 minutes of the game, and they came back and scored and won the game.
Yeah, those are two that evoke some memories of disappointment. There's no doubt about that. That whole year, I guess, was pretty disappointing overall.
Yeah, well, I call those my Hall of Shame football games.
Well, hopefully we won't have as many of those during the Malzahn era as we had during the Tuberville era. Look, there were so many games during the Tuberville era that I felt like our teams were right on the cusp of getting over the hump, which we did in 2004, and just never could. So, but Steve, we really do appreciate your phone call.
Well, thank you for the program, guys. Enjoy the show.
Thank you. And, again, our question of the day, in honor of Germany leading Brazil 5-0 at half, and if you watched any of the first 26 minutes, you felt sorry for Brazil. There was actually a handball in the box. I know we're up against a break. There was a handball in the box against Brazil, and the German players went over there and said, no, just don't call it. It's almost a station-to-station in baseball when your coach, you hit what could be a triple, and he's like, no, just stay on first base. There's no stealing. There's only station-to-station going on now. But so in honor of Germany leading Brazil 5-0 at half, what's the most disappointed or humiliated you've been leaving an Auburn football game or a football game in general? Andy, I want to give you some that we've got on social media so far. 1999 Mississippi State. It was pretty pitiful. I do remember that one. 87 free shoes. Another one that I remember, I was at that ball game. It was a massacre. Texas A&M in 2012 has been doubled up. Georgia game in 2006. I think we had 4 yards passing in the first half of that game, multiple interceptions, and we were a highly ranked team going into that football game. So that one was disappointing, but we'd love to hear from you out there.
Yeah, and I think it's a great question because I think there's a big difference between disappointed and humiliated. It's interesting, because the Texas A&M 2012, that was humiliating. 2002 Georgia, Auburn, Georgia, extremely disappointing. David Green throws a Hail Mary, or fourth down, and Michael Johnson catches it. Georgia wins the SEC. So disappointing and humiliating. Give us a call. Let us know how you feel about it, or send us a tweet. We're going to go ahead and get to our first break, but please stay with us. There's more to come on today's Sports Call presented by Always Money.
Mosquitoes, one of the summer's most dreaded sounds. For grown-ups, mosquitoes can make yard work drudgery. For kids, they can take all the fun out of playing in the yard. It's time to reclaim your yard with Cook's Mosquito Patrol. Enjoy your patio or deck this summer the way it was meant to be, without wearing bug spray or feeling like you're being eaten alive. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie. Cook's Pest Control.
They say business can get downright dirty. At Advanced Disposal, we couldn't agree more. That's why we offer dedicated solid waste and recycling services designed specifically for business. We work hard to leave your business a little cleaner than we found it. Whether the job is big or small, we do all the heavy lifting so you can focus solely on your customers, because that's what business is all about. Advanced Disposal, always working to keep your business and community beautiful. Visit advanceddisposal.com or call your local facility and discover our full range of commercial services today.
Hi there, this is Melanie Canals, and I work with a local engineering firm here in Auburn, Alabama. I have been with them for 31 years, and for the past 25, I have trusted all my printing needs to Allegra Printing. Our company has spent over $250,000 with Allegra Printing. We have used them to print letterhead and envelopes, books, brochures, invoice forms, business cards, and Christmas cards. Their staff is knowledgeable, courteous, and most of all creative. They're great with special requests and fast turnaround. Why don't you go see Allegra Printing today? They are located behind McAllister's in the University Shopping Center in Auburn.
Every day, they're grilling, steaming, and frying at the Shrimp Basket. Try their po' boys for lunch and dinner, plus raw steamed or fried oysters at the best oyster bar in town. Big appetite? Check out all-you-can-eat deals. Popcorn shrimp Sunday and Wednesday, fried fish Monday and Thursday, and Tuesday, all-you-can-eat steamed shrimp, plus a full bar with $2.49 drafts all day, every day. And specialty daiquiris, strawberry, peach, banana, and pina colada, all at the Shrimp Basket. Open 11 a.m. 7 days a week at 1651 South College in Auburn.
Auburn Links is your home for great golf. Just off exit 51, Auburn Links features a beautiful layout with Bermuda grass greens and rolling fairways, all right next to Parkerson's Mill Creek. For the last 20 years, Auburn Links has been providing Lee County with the best golfing experience around, whatever your skill level may be. Looking for a fun family activity? Auburn Links has great group rates and membership specials for everyone, and their weekday rates now include Fridays. Be sure to follow Auburn Links on Facebook and Twitter for special deals and limited time offers. Auburn Links on Shell Timber Parkway. Call 887-5151.
If you're heading to a party, having a party, or on your way home from a party, TK's convenience stores are guaranteed to have everything you need. Drinks, chips, and a case or two of your favorite cold refreshment should do the trick, right? You don't need to take time out of your nights and weekends to find a parking spot, locate what you need, and then wait in line forever. TK's believes fun should happen much more quickly. Not to mention you can fill up your tank while you're there too. TK's convenience stores, always there when you need us.
Everyone knows the Honey Baked Ham Company is the most delicious ham around. But did you know that we have all the perfect dishes for your summer get-together as well? Hey, this is Crystal with Honey Baked Ham on Gateway Drive in Opelika. Honey Baked is now offering barbecued ribs and fresh barbecued pork roast, perfect for your family reunion or outdoor party. With sides like broccoli rice casserole, green bean casserole, macaroni and cheese, and more, stop by Honey Baked to get everything you need when the family is coming into town. Call us today at 741-8411. Honey Baked Ham, perfect every time. We guarantee it.
Don't give up just yet. All Around Computers can help. 887-7773. They come to you for all your technology and computer service needs. If you don't want to install it, configure it, or even deal with it, All Around Computers can do it all. 887-7773. Do you have pop-ups, viruses, or is your computer running slow? All Around Computers can help you with it all. Don't call All Around. Call All Around Computers today. They come to your home or business for all your technology service needs. 887-7773.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sportscall, presented by Auburn Urgent Care. Auburn Urgent Care offers convenient solutions to your health care and occupational medicine needs, including workman's compensation injury care and certified DOT medical examinations. With locations on South College and in Tigertown, visit them online at auburnurgentcare.com. Let's go right back to the phone lines. And
David from Selma, you're on Sports Call.
Hey, guys. Glad to be listening to the show again. I've been away for a while. I had a comment on the most embarrassing, humiliating experiences with Auburn football, and I've been at it for a long time. But at 2006 Arkansas game at home, we were ranked number 2. Is right up there for me. I don't think I've ever sat through a hotter game at Jordan-Hare. It must have been 110 degrees on the field that day. And that was as ill-prepared. I won't say it's the most ill-prepared, but it's as ill-prepared as any Auburn team I've ever seen taking the field. The score was only 27-10, but we got housed. And we were number 2 in the country. They ran all over us. They did absolutely anything they wanted to do. And Auburn just was completely hapless. I love Coach Tuberville to death. I'm a big fan of his, but they mailed it in on that one. We got completely out-coached and outclassed at home when we were number 2 in the country.
That year, I mean, we had the Georgia game also that's been brought up, and we were a top 5 team. I can't remember, 4 or 5 going into that Georgia game in 2006, and we do exactly what you said, David. Don't show up, and both of them games at home, so it's head scratchers to say the least.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Love the show and glad to be back. War Eagle.
Thank you, David, and we appreciate all the phone calls. Got a ton of them coming through, and we'll keep going too, man. You got anything for us?
Well, Gus Malzahn, offensive coordinator for Arkansas in 2006.
Well, he's been winning wherever he's been. Brett in Elliott City, you're on Sports Call.
What's going on, guys?
Good to hear from you, Brett. Glad to have you back from a fishing trip down in Venice.
Yeah, I think we've all been all over the place here the last few weeks, but we get to take advantage of a summertime where we can slip off and do some things because Lord knows come fall, well, actually come next week, our schedule gets very busy heading into football season, but exciting times ahead. But yeah, glad to be back and had a fun time away and had to call in as we were listening to you guys come in from Venice on the radio and this topic on most disappointing games. Of course, I think everybody can name numerous ones like we've had so far, but two that for me was the 2003 Ole Miss game where Ben Obamanu had the winning touchdown in his hands, and he dropped it. I was extremely disappointed leaving the stadium that night. And then in 2005, if you can remember, it may have been, in 2005, the Georgia Tech game. Very first game of the year, coming off an undefeated season in 2004. We were ranked number 16 in the country. And Calvin Johnson just took us to the woodshed. They only beat us 23-14, but we just couldn't muster any offense. I think Trey Williams, Trey Smith was our tailback running, if I can remember correctly. And he ran the ball a ton of times, but we couldn't muster any offense. And those two times were some of the most disappointing. When I knew we walked in the stadium, we were the better team.
Yeah, we don't start Kenny Irons because we say he can't pick up the blitz. So we start Trey Smith, and they say there's no difference between the two. There's a whole lot of difference between the two. Okay, yeah, I remember that game well. Brandon Cox, his first game, he throws 4 interceptions during that game. I believe maybe 4, all 4 in the fourth quarter, or at least the second half. It was Calvin Johnson put on a show. You're exactly right. He proved that night he was NFL bound.
He did, and another one to add, and I'm going to say 2 more things. The South Florida game, when we lost in overtime, was horrendous. That was a very, very disappointing game, and Randy, and I know you talked about the difference in humiliation and being disappointed. I just wish we could wipe the entire 2012 year off because that was an embarrassment for our program as a whole. As you know and quite remember, I just after the Arkansas game at Auburn, and they came into town and they were terrible too, and they beat us up, and I knew that we were in for a long year. But against our 5 major opponents on the schedule, the games weren't even close, and we got embarrassed in all of them. And that just showed you where our program was. But look how quickly we rebounded, and that's the good thing. That's the things that we're looking forward to and where this program is now.
Thanks for the phone call, Brett, and I know that we'll catch you tonight. Sports Blitz Live will be on from 7 to 9. If you're in the Auburn-Opelika market, you can pick it up on 95.9, so we appreciate you calling in.
Thanks, guys.
Lots of phone calls coming through. We'll go back to the phone lines now. Scott in Elliott City, you're on Sports Call.
Good afternoon, guys. How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Doing well. I think my 2 games have been mentioned, but I'll just talk about my experiences with them. My first one would be I wasn't at the game, but the most disappointing I think I've ever disappointed after an Auburn game would probably be 2007 Georgia when we were in Athens and they started cranking the Soldier Boy. They had the blackout. I think Brandon Cox threw an interception the first play of the game maybe, and it was just over from that point. They humiliated Auburn, and it was just one of those things where we had no opportunity from the get-go. But I think in actually attending the game, I'd say 2009, Auburn, Alabama. It was my first Auburn, Alabama game to attend. It was my best friend's 21st birthday, and it just ended terribly. 1 minute and 24 seconds left in the game, and we just couldn't hold off. They picked us all the way down the field, as Anthony alluded to. Julio Jones had all these catches, and then you look at Upchurch with roll out there and McElroy hits them. But I'd say 09 was probably the worst. And then, of course, I'd say the A&M game from 2 years ago. That's the worst game I've ever been to in my entire life. I've never been so embarrassed. I think I left within about 8 minutes into the first quarter. I said, I can't sit here. It's going to be one of those games. But as Brett alluded to as well, I don't see that really happening too much more, or any of those types of games, rather, as long as Gus Malzahn is there. But, again, that 09 Alabama game is probably the most disappointed I've ever been after leaving the stadium.
Scott, thanks so much for the phone call. 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Our question of the day, in honor of Germany, blasting.
It may be 8-0 by now. I don't know.
I just walked in during the break and was watching, and Brazil's keeper made an unbelievable stop to keep it from being 6-0.
Wow.
But if you're not tuning in, Germany, 26 minutes into the match today, was leading Brazil 5-0. And they were leading them 5-0 at the half, which brought up our question of the day, and I'm not sure that we'll get off of it, because the beauty of this program is if you want to call in and talk about old Auburn games, we're going to do it. We'll talk about it for 2 solid hours.
2 weeks.
That's exactly right. What's the most disappointed or humiliated you've been leaving an Auburn football game, or if you're a fan of another team, we'd love to hear from you. Craig and LaGrange, you're on Sports Call.
Hey, Randy and Andy, I appreciate you taking my call. But I can only go back to where actually the 2 games that I was thinking about were the exact two that Brett brought up. The one in 2005 against Georgia Tech. You know, losing that opening game, you know, it pretty much just put a staple on our year. You know, it's hard to come back from a first game loss and trying to be productive throughout the year and have a chance to, you know, to go forward. But going back to his other game, the South Florida game that we lost in overtime, South Florida missed 3 field goals for us to even go into overtime. And, you know, for us to even be in that situation that year was pretty disappointing. And obviously 2012 was just a nightmare. But those are the games that I really remember as well.
Well, Craig, we appreciate your phone call. We're up against a break, and we've heard a lot of those 2000 games. We'd love to hear some of them back in the 90s and 80s. I want to bring up one as we go to break, and this is in my childhood. In the mid-80s, it seems like Auburn in 84 was ranked number 1 coming into the season, and we took on Tennessee, and they beat us like a drum mule. I don't remember what the score, but best I remember it was 31-0, somewhere like that. May have even been worse, 38-7.
That's good.
For those of you that weren't 7 or 8 at the time, which is the age I was when this whooping went on, and you can call in and give us that one, we'd love to hear from you out there.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead and get to our next break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Sports Call presented by Auburn Urgent Care.
Ever wondered what LMG can do for you? The possibilities are endless.
LMG offers custom apparel and promotional products, any type of signage and vehicle wraps, web design and internet marketing, video production, paper products, and more. Visit us online at leemarketing.net. 3 locations to best serve you: Madison Street in Alexander City, Highway 280 in Dadeville, and Frederick Road in Auburn. LMG, success by design.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pads, or annual dues. Nellie's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly Molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
Purchasing a home can sometimes be overwhelming. Instead, it should be an exciting time for you and your family. Hi, I'm Angela Van Houten with Century 21 Lake Area Realty. I want to help you find the home or property that perfectly fits your needs. With over 15 years of experience in real estate, I am proud to serve the Lake Martin and surrounding areas. Call or text me today, 256-596-0566, or find me on the web at angelavanhouten.com and let me help you find the home you've always dreamed of.
Looking for the most comprehensive sports show in Alabama? Catch Sports Blitz Live from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. Join Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, and Luke Robinson as they discuss the latest in high school, collegiate, and nationwide athletics. Tune in to FM Talk 95.9, watch live on ACN Charter Channel 80, or catch the live stream at sportsblitzlive.com. That's sports with a Z. That's Sports Blitz Live, Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m.
Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive in Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your healthcare and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. It's not about speed. It's about the quality of care. We're open 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends in Auburn, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in Opelika. Walk-ins are welcome. Auburn Urgent Care. 334-821-3221 in Auburn or 334-749-9191 in Opelika. Visit us online at auburnurgentcare.com. Proud of our past, confident in our future. And for your primary health care needs, visit Family Health Clinic at 1456 Opelika Road in Auburn. 334-826-8951. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
So, you're a business owner in need of durable, comfortable work uniforms and hats. Or maybe your high school won the section championship and you want to celebrate with custom t-shirts. Or perhaps you'd like matching tees and hats for your family reunions barbecue. At Lee Apparel, we offer you a full-service production facility right here in Central Alabama. From design to printing, every aspect of your order is taken care of here with real people. Find out more at leeapparel.com or call us at 888-533-6758.
With over 40 years of combined experience, SignSource is the premier sign supplier for Central Alabama. From illuminated and monument signs for your business, to banners, car wraps, or political yard signs for the individual, SignSource can do it all. We specialize in designing sign concepts that get results. Contact us today at 256-825-0197 or on the web at signsourcenow.com. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Welcome back, everyone, on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon to Sports Call, presented by Always Money. My name is Andy Graham, alongside my partner Randy Lee, here with you for another hour and a half, talking about everything in the world of sports. And I got a great question of the day today, in honor of the bloodletting that's going on right now in Brazil. Germany up now 6-0 with about 20 minutes to play. What is the most disappointed / humiliated you've ever been leaving an Auburn football game or your particular favorite school, the football game? Now, I find something very interesting. Two people have called in and said that, 2009 was one of the most disappointing, the Iron Bowl 2009. I left that game with my head held so high. I was so proud of Auburn. Because, we had no chance to win that game, and we come in and play the number one team in the country off their feet, could have very easily won the game. Yes, it was, disappointing that Alabama scored late to win it, but I would never classify that game as disappointing in any way.
Let me throw another one out there. 94, the tie. It wasn't a loss, but the tie against Georgia is one that sticks out to me also. We're on such a long streak without losing games, able to go over to Florida and pick up a victory. Don't get the national championship because we're on probation. We can't play for the SEC title, can't play for a national championship, even though it's been discussed on whether we'll take that one or not. But we're not going to bring that one up at this point. It's now 7-0, by the way. Germany is destroying Brazil 7-0 in the second half of play, and that's going to bring up our trivia here in a minute. But that 94 game against Georgia and tying and how all that played out was such a disappointment.
Yeah, look, and it was a Ray Goff-led Georgia team. They were 5-4 coming in. Auburn was 9-0 at home. What is it to deal with these mediocre Georgia teams that come in and ruin an Auburn season? We seem to have struggled with that over the years. They had an all-star team now. Eric Zier at quarterback, Terrell Davis at running back, Hines Ward, Will Muschamp in the secondary. Robert Edwards was still in the secondary. They would later move him to tailback, and he'd become, great at tailback. But an all-star cast, but a very mediocre. They just underachieved. And Auburn, I'm like you. Yeah, that one was truly disappointing.
Why are we making such a big deal out of this question that we've got here, the trivia? And you can win a Sports Call T-shirt and decal, compliments of Lee Marketing Group over in Opelika. When's the last time Brazil lost a home game? What year was the last time Brazil lost a home game? Call in, and this is in soccer. When you mention Brazil, don't say what sport we're talking about. But that may be the reason. There's a lot of American fans out there like, what's a big deal? I know Brazil's good, but why is this such a big deal? When you hear this year, and by the way, it's not in the last 10. I'll give you that hint out there. 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Sports Call AU is where you can find us on Twitter.
Yeah, and just for anybody out there that says, well, soccer, the score, this is the equivalent of losing 70-0. Getting beat 7-0 right now for Brazil is the equivalent of being beaten in football 70-0. I mean, you times it by 10 because, and like you said, Brazil, yes, they're down their two best players. Neymar and Thiago Silva are out for this game. Neymar cracked a vertebrae when he took a knee to the back, and Silva got 2 yellow cards. He's out, suspended. But, they came to this game, I think, hoping that they were going to be lifted up, with it being the World Cup being in Brazil. They like you said, this trivia question is pretty incredible. They always play well when they're in their home country. It's just I can't even begin to tell you how surprising and how humiliating this is for Brazil. I don't care if they are down 2 players.
Media days next week, Monday. We'll be over there covering these. By the way, you can tune into our program 4 to 6 every afternoon during media days. We'll have been there throughout the day, get some responses, pay attention best we can, and pass it along to you, the Auburn fans out there. And, again, we got some other fans, but for the most part, our Auburn fans out there. Mike's live in Auburn from 11 a.m. to 2:30 on Monday. Florida and Vandy from 2:40 to 5:30 on Monday. On Tuesday, it will be Mississippi State and South Carolina from 9 a.m. to 12. Tennessee and A&M from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. On Wednesday, it'll be Missouri and Steve Shaw from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Arkansas and LSU from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then Thursday, the final day, which is just a partial day, Georgia and Ole Miss will be the morning session, Alabama and Kentucky. So we're kicking it off with Auburn, the very first team coming out, Alabama, the last one. Closing out, we couldn't ask for more here in this state.
That seems about right. Open it with one and close it with the other because they were the 2 dominant teams last year. Although Missouri certainly had a great season and has something to say about that, but expected to be the 2 dominant teams again this year. I think the most is expected out of these 2 teams. Although I know a lot of people are high on South Carolina, but you look down through the schedule, you have to say that the West is the dominant division right now, and Auburn and Alabama at the top. So nice to have those teams sandwiched in there, and really looking forward to getting over there. Never been. It's going to be an exciting time, and it'll be interesting broadcasting live from up there in Birmingham.
Who do you think Auburn will take? Just guessing, which players do you think, or who would you like to see Auburn take?
I guarantee you won't be Jonathan Mincy. I would imagine Reese Dismukes would be one of them, although maybe he went last year. That may have play a factor into whether he goes back. Usually it's a senior, usually it's a leader. I could see Gabe Wright and Nick Marshall. Those are the 2 guys that are your team leaders. On offense and defense, and but a lot of people, I think a lot of kids are deserving.
I definitely do, and there's so many articles coming out now, and which questions will be answered over there, and some of the main ones that we'll be looking for on Auburn's side, and just the feel. I think a lot of times there's not much you can get out of it, but I think by the way a coach carries himself, you can tell whether he's confident or not, and you leave with an idea of how good he thinks he's going to be. And especially these media personalities that have been doing this, they know the guys. We're new to this game, especially on that type of level, so we don't really have anything to pass along with what we've heard in years past. But I do think that other media, and we'll be listening into them, can get a feel for what a Steve Spurrier, what a Nick Saban, what a Gus Malzahn, and get a feel for what they think their team's bringing back and what they're going to do in the SEC this next year.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good point. And, usually when you have these kind of things, guys come up and they make a great impression. I would imagine somebody, Mississippi State with Dan Mullen, no doubt going to bring his new quarterback up there this year. He's a very polished guy. I expect him. I would not be surprised to see the media falling on him and him gain a lot of praise and kind of come away from this with a lot of hype, a lot of media attention. I think the pressure's on for Florida and Will Muschamp. They go 4-8 last year. He needs to come and try to instill some kind of confidence into the fans of the fans in Gainesville, because I believe his probably is the hottest seat in the SEC right now.
888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401 is our phone number. Again, Twitter, Sportscall AU. 7-0, Germany currently leads. Brazil. When's the last time Brazil lost a home soccer game? When's the last time? It's a crazy number. I'm giving a hint. It's well beyond 10 years ago. 888-9-TIGER-9 is where you can catch up with us there. Auburn getting a lot of love from the national media for Players of the Year. Quarterback Nick Marshall and receiver Sammy Coates on the watch list for the Maxwell Award, which goes to college football's top college player. Great to see, to me, Sammy Coates getting the exposure and the national media talking about. I saw an article, Freaks of College Football, and Sammy Coates was at the top of it. And that freaks is that's not a bad term when you're talking about athletic ability.
Yeah, you go back to that Texas A&M game, and it was the one play I think that opened a lot of eyes when he just absolutely shoved the Texas A&M cornerback with one arm to the ground and shed him like a flea. And I think everybody, that kind of opened a lot of eyes. And then you look at what he did last year. I mean, 21.5 yards per catch. For so long he was leading the nation in that category. So I'm like you. Yeah, he deserves a lot of publicity because he is a pretty incredible physical specimen. I remember, I believe it was Cody Burns that said, when he was a freshman, he came on out there and he said he's maybe the most athletic wide receiver I've ever seen. And now we're seeing the benefits of that. And you hope maybe a Duke Williams will take some of the pressure off, and that it would benefit him both. You could say, well, that might take some of his catches away, but hopefully it will open it up enough where you can't double-team Coach, you can't double-team Williams. You get one-on-one coverage with both of them, and then it just opens up a world of possibilities for Nick Marshall.
Top 20 college football freaks. If you haven't caught this, it's a Fox Sports article out there, and none of the 20 down to 11 were SEC players, but I will pass these along. Bernardrick McKinney, a linebacker at Mississippi State, was a quarterback in high school. Just some of the measurables. He's 6'5", 250 pounds, and has been clocked at 4.5 in 40. Mississippi State, I'm not sure if he's going to be on here, but they have got a number of players that when you see them, they're unbelievable at what they have. Shane Ray, a defensive end for Missouri, has been clocked at 4.44 in the 40, jumps over 40 inches, broad jumps over 10 feet, and bench presses over 400 pounds at 245 pounds. So, yes, I would call that a freak, as you've seen. Now, we still haven't heard from the Auburn player that we're talking about, Todd Gurley from Georgia, at 6'1", 232 pounds. World Youth Trials, he was able to win that in 2011, the 110-meter hurdles. This guy's an amazing athlete also, and as we continue down this top 20 list of college football freaks, and it looks like Auburn is going to be right there at the top. And let's see, number one is going to be Sammy Coates, and Sammy Coates is an amazing athlete, 6'2", 210 pounds. You mentioned 21.5 yards per catch last year, 902 total yards. That's not where the freak comes in. The freak comes in to the numbers that Sammy Coates is putting up. And Coates' vertical jump is 44 inches. Bench press is 405 pounds. Has been clocked as low as 4.25 in the 40 with prime size for an NFL receiver. We could see Sammy Coates with not a breakout year this year because he had over 900 yards receiving last year, but Andy, we could see this guy in the top 10 in NFL draft next year, I think.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. And him, he is just a junior this year, so there's a possibility he could be back at Auburn. Which
good luck with that.
Good luck with that. We'd all hope to see that. Also, Robinson Therese up for the Bednarik Award, the top defender. I'm a little surprised at that. Glad to see he's getting some recognition. He's kind of an undersized guy but he plays that that kind of hybrid position for Auburn. Really, showed out last year and really became a household name. He could do some special things this year, and obviously they're predicting him to do so.
One name that's not on this list that very easily could be is Corey Grant. Coaches are showing with a stopwatch. I'm also reading in this article, Corey Grant runs a 4.14 in the 40. Get Coates also in that same 40 time that they're taking 4.16. Spin it however you want, but I have seen multiple videos of Corey Grant running sub 4.2 40s. Got to be, if not the fastest, one of the fastest Tigers. And Corey Grant's not 180 pounds. He's not a 175-pound guy. This guy's 205, 210. I'm thrilled to have him back. I think he's prime for a breakout season this year.
Up against our next break, but please stay with us. There's more to come from today's Sports Call presented by Always Money.
Stop by your local TK's convenience store where Resource Natural Spring Water 700 milliliter bottles are buy one, get one free. Resource is a 100% natural spring water with naturally occurring electrolytes for taste. It's good for you and mindful of the environment thanks to a bottle made with 50% recycled plastic. So visit your local TK's convenience store to refresh, revitalize, and replenish with a special buy one, get one free offer on Resource Spring Water. Offer valid 5/1 through 6/30/2014. Excludes label and cap. Recycling facilities may not be available in your area.
It's true. The Big Blue Bookstore stocks Auburn's best selection of textbooks and sweetens the deal with a low price guarantee. But wait, there's more. How about a full-service post office inside the store? Don't waste hours and hours standing in the world's slowest line way on the other side of town. Multitask. Big Blue's collection of Auburn merchandise covers all your bases. AU apparel, gifts, home and auto decor, even stuff for your War Eagle pet. Well, looky there. Now you've got gifts for friends and family, and hey, there's a post office to ship them. Go Big Blue. The Big Blue Bookstore. Winn-Dixie Shopping Center on South College.
Gotta get the Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Got to get the Gills. East Alabama, we're here to say a new Gills location is on the way. 28 years of doing what we do, serving your friends, family, and you. Hurry on down and don't be late. We're at Opelika, exit 58. Gotta get the Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Got to get the Gills. Selection and price. Got to get the Gills. Gotta get the Gills.
It's Fueling Happy Hour all day, every day at TK's West Pace on Sheltoomer Parkway and TK's on West Longleaf Drive. Come by either TK's location for a fill-up and get a free fountain drink. That's right, come by TK's next to the West Pace Auto Mall on Sheltoomer Parkway or TK's on West Longleaf Drive anytime. Fill up on high-quality Chevron gasoline and quench your thirst with a free fountain drink. It's always Happy Hour at TK's, Sheltoomer Parkway and West Longleaf stores only.
There's nothing like the signature honey glazed spiral sliced ham from Honey Baked. Hey, this is Crystal. From catering corporate meetings to providing box lunches for your next event, Honey Baked Ham is just what you're looking for, including full meals with sides and desserts. Don't forget to stop by our deli for lunch or dinner, open 10 to 7, Monday through Saturday. You don't have to wait for the holidays. Plan your Honey Baked feast today. Give us a call at 741-8411, stop by and see us on Gateway Drive in Opelika, or order online at myhoneybakedstore.com. Honey Baked Ham, perfect every time. We guarantee it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of Whatever USA.
Thanks for coming. This summer, Bud Light is creating a town called Whatever USA, the most marvelous, spectacular town for people who are up for whatever. And you could come. I will now take a few questions. Yes, you in front.
Is Whatever USA a real town?
It's as real as this voice-enhancing software. Next question.
How do I get to whatever?
Are you up for whatever?
Yes.
Perfect. Then audition at upforwhatever.com or your local participating Bud Light retailer. Yeah. Kind of people is Bud Light looking for? We want yes people. Let's do it people. And this seems slightly unorthodox, but sure, why not people? Up my ride's here. Bring it on, professional Boy Scout.
Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Bud Light Whatever USA video contest open to U.S. residents 21 and over. No purchase necessary. Ends August 31st, 2014. Visit upforwhatever.com for official rules, entry prices, and details. Void where prohibited.
Stop by your local Bud Light retailer and ask about all the great Bud Light promotions in your area. Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. When you're over 21. Are you up for whatever?
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AV St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, this is James Andrade for the Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store. Did you know that the Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store really impacts hundreds of boys and girls right here in our city through the Saturday Sunday School, Sidewalk Sunday School, and the Leadership Academy? It's true. From the breakfast on the bus prepared by Finley's every Saturday morning, to the hard-hitting lessons taught right in some of the toughest neighborhoods, to the proactive leadership lessons of the Academy, we do make a difference. Someone once noted, a raindrop may look too small to the eyes, but somewhere a thirsty flower awaits its fall. Shop and donate to the Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, and remember, you are making a big difference.
Welcome back to Sports Call, presented by Auburn Urgent Care. This segment brought to you by Resource Natural Spring Water. Resource is 100% natural spring water with naturally occurring electrolytes that support a lifestyle of well-being. When you're needing to refresh, revitalize, and replenish, it's always natural spring water. Let's go straight back to the phone line.
Tim in New Site, you're on Sports Call.
Hey, fellas. I've never called a show before, but Randy and Andy, first thing I want to do is say good afternoon. Andy, last week you wrote a story on Lutz and Kirchen, and I've been reading your articles. Being from News Side, I've been able to read your articles in the Outlook, and I've been a fan of yours because you don't drink the Kool-Aid. Even when things aren't going good at Auburn, you always tell the truth. And I work with a guy named Brandon Foshi, and he told me your story, Andy, and the platform that God has given you. And I just want you to know that I appreciate the story that you wrote last week.
Well,
Huh?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I appreciate it.
The thing is as I've gotten older and deeper in my faith, the one line that I keep going back to is Rick Burgess of Rick and Bubba fame. They said college football, great sport, lousy God. And I find that to be true because we live in a state and we are obsessed with our football. But I see the platform that God has given you, and I just pray that you'll just keep on running with it, brother.
Well, I appreciate it very much. Very kind words. I really do appreciate it.
Well, and one more thing, because I came in out of the garden, and y'all were talking about this subject. And as a kid growing up in the 80s, I didn't realize just what impact that it was going to be. But the worst loss of the 80s, the worst loss of the decade, had to have been the earthquake game, because Tracy Rocker and Quentin Riggins and that defense would have ate Lou Holtz's offense up in the national championship.
That's one that we haven't brought up, Tim, and that you're exactly right. If I remember that one also as one that stands out, as one that so many Auburn fans felt like that was the best team we ever had. Definitely the best defense we probably ever had, and the disappointment of watching that LSU team go down the field and score late and the earthquake, and it did register, I think, on the Richter scale. That's a very good one. Tim, we appreciate your phone call this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
And Andy, before we move on, I've had so many people compliment you on your article in the Outlook, and you're able to write in. And for those over in the Auburn-Opelika market, you and Luke Robinson, he takes the Alabama stance, you take the Auburn stance, but both of you try to mix and mingle between both topics best you can. But it was a great article. We're going to put it up on our social media, and I'm sure you've heard a lot from that also.
I have gotten a lot of good feedback about that. It was about Philip Lutzenkirchen, and just, you know, too. I've talked about something that happened to me, and a similar situation. I was in a car accident as well. Lutz and Kirchen unfortunately did not as well, and I got some positive feedback from the article, and I appreciate everyone that read it, and hopefully that I did a fair job of talking about Lutzenkirchen.
Well, it's very deserving. It was a great article. Again, we've got it up on our social media outlets. If you're looking for us, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter. Sportscall AU is where you can find us on Twitter, and we'll push that back out. Again, it was a great tribute to a wonderful Auburn man by all regards. Everything you hear about him is positive from the Auburn faithful, so disappointing for his family, but again, to lead a life the way that he did and to leave so many people in a positive atmosphere when they think about him is great for he and his family.
Definitely. Going ahead and get to our final break of the first hour. The Fox Sports Report is next. More Sports Call after this.
Purchasing a home can sometimes be overwhelming. Instead, it should be an exciting time for you and your family. Hi, I'm Angela Van Houten with Century 21 Lake Area Realty. I want to help you find the home or property that perfectly fits your needs. With over 15 years of experience in real estate, I am proud to serve the Lake Martin and surrounding areas. Call or text me today, 256-596-0566, or find me on the web at angelavanhouten.com and let me help you find the home you've always dreamed of.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pads, or annual dues. Nellie's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly Molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
It's political season. Get the most exposure for your campaign through Lee Marketing Group. Yard signs, banners, decals, door hangers, postcards, business cards, video production, advertising, and more. Custom, professional, and engaging. Everything you need in one place. Contact us today, 888-533-6758. www.leemarketing.net. LMG, success by design.
So, you're a business owner in need of durable, comfortable work uniforms and hats. Or maybe your high school won the section championship and you want to celebrate with custom t-shirts. Or perhaps you'd like matching tees and hats for your family reunions barbecue. At Lee Apparel, we offer you a full-service production facility right here in Central Alabama. From design to printing, every aspect of your order is taken care of here with real people. Find out more at leeapparel.com or call us at 888-533.
You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 93.9, WTGZ, Union Springs, Montgomery, and Auburn, and AM 620 WTRP, LaGrange.
Fox Sports trending now.
Live from Los Angeles, I'm Tom Looney, slaving over a hot microphone. Brazilian blowout is back to meaning what it used to mean.
Could be more here, Sherlock once again. That's 7! Humiliation for Brazil just got worse. Germany in 7th heaven.
Phil Collins with the call. The Entertainment and Sports Programming Network. Germany booted Brazil 7-1. It wasn't that close. We did have one day game today in Major League Baseball. Jay Bruce hit homer number 10 on WLW Cincinnati.
Swung on, goodbye. 3-0 Cincinnati.
Golly.
Son of a gun.
And they never looked back after that. Reds drubbed the Cubs 4-2. LeBron James held meetings for more than 3 hours in the Las Vegas hotel today, left without giving any indication of what's up. He'll allow Pat Riley to meet with him tomorrow. And I'm Looney.
Mosquitoes. One of the summer's most dreaded sounds. For grown-ups, mosquitoes can make yard work drudgery. For kids, they can take all the fun out of playing in the yard. It's time to reclaim your yard with Cook's Mosquito Patrol. Enjoy your patio or deck this summer the way it was meant to be, without wearing bug spray or feeling like you're being eaten alive. Call Cooks today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie. Cooks Pest Control.
All right, guys, bring it in. Listen up. I want to talk about last night. Yes, sir. Maybe you had your friends over, huh? Cracked open some icy cold Budweisers. I heard that. And maybe, just maybe, you had yourselves the night of your life. Well, yesterday's over, boys, but tonight is just beginning. You got a bunch of bonus buds sitting pretty in your fridge. I want you to crack them open, and I want you to mass text all your friends and round them all up again for round 2. And I don't want to hear, I do not want to hear, but we're tired from yesterday, Coach. Or the cleaning lady just left. That's what the fool who missed it would say. Gentlemen, listen to me. You need to go out there and live, and you need to do it tonight. Carpe diem, boys. And while you're at it, carpe nitem too. Great times await. Good job, bud.
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Go with Graceland Portable Buildings for storage facilities and the highest quality hunting and fishing cabins you'll ever see. Graceland blows away the competition with the finest building materials, top quality lumber, and secure metal roofs. And Graceland is so sure that their buildings will move only when you want them to that they offer the strongest warranties in the business. Buy outright or lease to own, there is no credit check required. And Graceland will deliver and set up your new building for free. Look for the G and visit Graceland Portable Buildings on South College in Auburn, or go to GracelandPortableBuildings.com.
Auburn Bank has money to lend because you have a dream to start, a business to expand, folks to take care of, a future to secure. For what matters most to you in your life, our experienced lenders are ready to assist you in achieving your goals. Auburn Bank, since 1907, your partner, your neighbor, your friend. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Online at auburnbank.com.
It's true. The Big Blue Bookstore stocks Auburn's best selection of textbooks and sweetens the deal with a low price guarantee. But wait, there's more. How about a full-service post office inside the store? Don't waste hours and hours standing in the world's slowest line way on the other side of town. Multitask. Big Blue's collection of Auburn merchandise covers all your bases. AU apparel, gifts, home and auto decor, even stuff for your War Eagle pet. Well, looky there. Now you've got gifts for friends and family, and hey, there's a post office to ship them. Go Big Blue. The Big Blue Bookstore. Winn-Dixie Shopping Center on South College.
You better buckle your seatbelts because it's going to be a show to watch.
From Tiger Communications.
Jackson, touchdown.
For 20 years, East Alabama's sports talk leader.
Swing and drive. Go to right.
Sportscall. Call in now at 887-3401 Locum. Or 1-888-9-TIGER-9. Toll free.
Struck him out.
And now, coming to you live from the loveliest village on the plains. Sports Call.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sports Call, presented by Always Money. My name is Andy Graham, alongside my partner, Randy Lee, here with you for another hour of Sports Call. Be sure to give us a call at 1-888-9-TIGER-9 toll-free, or locally at 334-887-3401. Had a lot of great phone calls today. Our question of the day, which is, I don't think I ever said this, but brought to you by Lee Marketing Group for signage, tees, web design, and more. Call on LMG today at 334-742-0197. At long last, mercifully, the match has come to an end. Germany defeats Brazil 7-1. I don't know if Germany kicked in an own goal, but I didn't get to see it, but it was a absolute massacre in Brazil.
You want a couple of stats from this? Germany has 7 goals that they scored today, the most allowed by a Brazil team in a home match, and the second time Brazil's conceded 7 in any match, and that's in the history of their program. As it stands, 7-0 is the worst margin of defeat. They actually lost 7-1. So 7-1 was the worst margin of defeat in Brazil history. What year was the last year that Brazil lost at home? We said it was much more than 10 years ago was the hint that we gave out there, but we'll give away a Sports Call T-shirt or decal. Which year was the last year that Brazil lost a home soccer match? Call in, 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401.
So in honor of that humiliating defeat by Brazil at the hands of the Germans this afternoon, what's the most disappointed or humiliated you've ever been leaving an Auburn football game, or you're at your team of choice, whatever fan you fall into. A lot of games have been brought up, and there is a distinction: disappointment from humiliation. I certainly brought up the 2012. That has been mentioned quite a few times. The 2012 Texas A&M game, that was humiliating. I don't think there's any other way to describe that game. That was just pure humiliation. That was one where you walked out and you were ashamed. There are certainly disappointing games. I think the Georgia Tech game that was brought up in 2005, Reggie Ball beat Auburn twice. I mean that's embarrassing. That's humiliating. Okay, I would throw that into the category of humiliation. One that has not been brought up that I think was utterly disappointing was the 2003 USC game. It was 112 degrees outside. They were carrying people out on stretchers out of the stands. People were passing out left and right. A miserable hot day, hot summer day there in Auburn. And we just, Jason Campbell throws an tip pass, interception, first play of the game, and it goes downhill from there. And, Auburn just gets hammered. Obviously, USC was a better team, but I still say the 2003 Auburn team, the most talented top to bottom team Auburn's ever had.
We haven't had this one called in, but the Alabama game in Sullivan and Beasley's senior year has to be one that stands out because that Auburn team goes into that matchup undefeated, ranked, I believe, number 1 in the country, if not number 1, top 3, and they get dismantled by an Alabama team there in the early 70s. One that has been brought up was that 87 Florida State game at home against Auburn. It was a massacre. It was 34-3, best I remember. May have even been worse than that one. I brought up an 80s game against Tennessee in 84 where Auburn was ranked number 1 going into the preseason and lost. I don't know the number. I was 7, just so bear with me. But I do remember a dismantling there of 30-plus points that Tennessee won in that one. So we'd love to hear from you. 888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401. Our question, or our trivia question, when was the last year that Brazil lost a home soccer match? Interesting article that read coming into today's show is Auburn is obviously a hot ticket at home this season, coming in at number 15 in ticket prices, Andy. And the ticket prices you mentioned during the break, they're only going to go where the market leads them, and that's up right now.
Yeah, these are secondary prices. Obviously, you can still get single tickets for Auburn games. The out-of-conference games are going to be $45. The Arkansas game, which is available, is $70. But you look down through here, and Auburn home games averaged $137. Last year, they're averaging $132 on the secondary market. This year, that's 15th nationally. That's 6th in the SEC. I think Alabama leads the way in that category. Georgia, I believe, is number 2, pretty high up. I believe maybe Nebraska was number 1, which I find a little strange. But anyway, yeah, you talked about this, I think, last Tuesday, or we were talking about ticket prices, and we've talked about this several times, I think, in the last year about pricing out the average fan, and until you see really empty stadiums across the board, ticket prices are not going to go down in any way because they make too much money off of them, and that's a big source of income for the university.
And Auburn also appears twice in the most expensive matchups of the upcoming season. Iron Bowl comes in at number 3. What do you think the average ticket price to the Iron Bowl? $547 per ticket. That's on the secondary market. Tigers trip to Georgia.
Yeah, that's right now.
That's right now.
Wait until they're both undefeated.
Exactly. Comes in at 10th. Auburn versus Georgia at $333 per ticket. And Auburn is the 11th best road draw in college football. So last year, Auburn's team, most watched team in America. Best I can remember. Just great marketing all the way around for our program. I was up in D.C., had Auburn hat on. Can't tell you how many people asked me how disappointed I was. Back to a disappointing game. One that
I can't believe
that I didn't even mention, but a disappointing game leaving the Rose Bowl 13 seconds from a national title this past year. But really where we were going with this question was Brazil lost 7-1 today
humiliating.
in a matchup in a semifinal, and it's been a long time since they've lost a home soccer match. Wins a game that you said, one that stands out to me, 2001, Auburn versus Alabama. At home, Auburn gets throttled. That's one we were looking for.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of those, again, where Auburn comes into the game, and it appears to be the better team. And, for whatever reason, they just collapse. They just don't show up. Those are the ones that I think you look back on as the most disappointing / humiliating. Alabama just runs up and down the field on Auburn that day, 31-7 at home. First loss in Jordan-Hare. No, I take that back. They lost in 99, but it was a second straight loss in Jordan-Hare against Alabama. So at the Iron Bowl since they'd moved it, but this is a downer. You're bringing me down with this question.
Well,
I'm remembering these games.
Let me continue to bring you down with the world that we live in. We've been talking about lawsuits for the last 3 months, and this one has to come somewhere near the top of the how in the world is this one going to happen. Andrew Rector, if you haven't seen, he fell asleep during a Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees game on April the 13th, shown on national television, is currently suing ESPN and Major League Baseball for $10 million, a $10 million defamation lawsuit. Rector 26 is suing because of two talking heads like ourselves here. Remember this, Andy, by the way, $10 million, if we get sued for $10 million, it's coming out of your bank account, is suing ESPN announcers Dan Shulman and John Kruk, who made light of the situation on air. Is this even real?
Well, you can sue anybody for anything, I think, at this point. But, I don't know how this goes any further than, I'm not even sure how this gets past the filing stage, $10 million. But, I guess, look, you buy a ticket for a baseball game, it's going to be on national television. There's a chance you're going to be on TV, okay? What are you doing falling asleep? You're at your own peril there. I think that's buyer beware. He says they went went far with what they were saying. He said they used words like stupor. He was an overweight gentleman. They said fatty. I don't know if they use these words, or I don't know how unintelligent, stupid, knowing and intending the same be heard and listened by millions of people over the world. I can see how it would be embarrassing, and I might be a little upset maybe if I had fallen asleep and I was drooling, or something. It was not. It was an. I look like a fool, but it's just ridiculous. That's what it is.
888-9-TIGER-9 334-887-3401. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody in our listening audience knows this trivia question, so we're going to go back to a football trivia. But let me
give them a hint, see if they'll get it. It was the last year of the Shug Jordan era.
Okay. Give us that year, and it was the year that Andy Graham was born. Was the last year that Brazil has lost a home soccer match. And let me give you their record during that stretch. Call in, get that one correct. Sports Call, T-shirt and decal will be giving away 62 straight competitive home games back to this year. Brazil is 43-0-19 during that stretch when playing in their country. And one of those, actually, they haven't played a World Cup. They won 1970, which was back in Brazil. But Brazil, 62 consecutive home games comes to an abrupt ending today as Germany takes them down 7-1. They were up 5-0, 26 minutes into the match.
Up against our first break of the second hour, but please stay with us. There's more to come from today's Sports Call, presented by Always Money.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pads, or annual dues. Nellie's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly Molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
It's political season. Get the most exposure for your campaign through the Lead Marketing Group. Yard signs, banners, decals, door hangers, postcards, business cards, video production, advertising, and more. Custom, professional, and engaging. Everything you need in one place. Contact us today. 888-533-6758. www.leadmarketing.net. LMG. Success by design.
Lake Winds Golf Course, the most affordable, quality round of golf in Central Alabama. Located right off Highway 280 on County Road 40 in Alexander City, Lake Winds Golf Course offers affordable memberships, an updated pro shop, junior golf program, annual tournaments, and weekly matches. Call for your tee time today, 256-825-9860. Lake Winds Golf Course.
Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive in Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your health care and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. It's not about speed. It's about the quality of care. We're open 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends in Auburn, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in Opelika. Walk-ins are welcome. Auburn Urgent Care. 334-821-3221 in Auburn or 334-749-9191 in Opelika. Visit us online at auburnurgentcare.com. Proud of our past, confident in our future. And for your primary health care needs, visit Family Health Clinic at 1456 Opelika Road in Auburn. 334-826-8951. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
There's no doubt that high school and college athletics rule the state of Alabama. Increase exposure for your business by spending your advertising dollars on the best sports programming in Alabama with Sports Blitz, Sportscall, and the AHSAA radio network. In a sports-hungry state like Alabama, Sports Blitz, Sportscall, and the AHSAA radio network will offer your business the best return on investment. We have packages designed to fit any budget. Call today, 256-794-8223.
Purchasing a home can sometimes be overwhelming. Instead, it should be an exciting time for you and your family. Hi, I'm Angela Van Houten with Century 21 Lake Area Realty. I want to help you find the home or property that perfectly fits your needs. With over 15 years of experience in real estate, I am proud to serve the Lake Martin and surrounding areas. Call or text me today, 256-596-0566, or find me on the web at angelavanhouten.com and let me help you find the home you've always dreamed of.
At Russell Do-It Center stores, you'll find a complete assortment of lumber, building materials, hardware, electrical and plumbing supplies, paint, tools, and lawn and garden merchandise. Russell Do-It Center stores deliver first-class service, top-rated products, and competitive do-it-best pricing. Russell Do-It Center also offers free estimates, free local delivery, and price match promise. Check us out at www.russelldoitcenter.com or visit one of our 9 locations in Central Alabama.
Welcome back to Sports Call, presented by Auburn Urgent Care. This segment brought to you by Carl Gregory. If you're interested in a new Jeep, Ram, Dodge, or Chrysler model, or used car and live in Auburn, Opelika, or LaGrange, hey, you're in luck. Great deals going on now for every make and model. Visit your locally owned dealer. Carl Gregory, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram's 2 giant locations, Victory Drive or the North Lake Auto Complex in Columbus.
Andy, your thoughts? Jameis Winston goes back to his hometown in Hueytown, and they turn the key to the city over to him. And, I look at this. I mean, if you look at our hometown here, or if you live over in the Auburn, Opelika, or Montgomery areas, and he's not convicted of anything. Now, of course, he's had his problems, and these aren't. The crab legs are a funny situation, but the other incident that he was involved in is not a funny situation. But I'll kick it to you, and then I'll give my thoughts, your thoughts on Hueytown rolling out the red carpet this past weekend.
Well, the buffoonery is established. Okay, I mean, he has done some stupid things. Now, did they rise to the level of, larceny, grand larceny? He stole some crab legs. Did he know? Did he forget? No, he didn't forget. He knew what he was doing. It was probably set up, and The owner of the Publix was probably in on it, and it just kind of went awry. But all the other little things. But like you say, anybody, he wasn't necessarily. It wasn't like he was necessarily said, "Oh, well, he's acquitted. He's totally innocent here of this, sexual misconduct." That story just kind of went away. There was not enough proof to, go on, mainly due to the fact that the police kind of dropped the ball. So when you're involved in something like that, whether you're convicted or not, I just think it doesn't look good at all. And I just don't think I could possibly stand up on a stage and say that this guy, quote, is a great guy on and off the field. He is a role model on and off the field, and it just, I don't know. I'd feel very, very uneasy about something like that.
I guess we'll stay down this same line of thought, and we as Auburn fans have been blasted by our counterparts, especially on a couple of our programs that we're able to host throughout the week. But when you look at this Dorial Green Beckham, potentially looking to get reinstated this next year, it brings up, again, you're opening Pandora's closet here, and it is a scary thing to look inside, which is college football. One program doing the right thing, setting a precedent and letting a kid go that has had multiple interactions with the law, and then another program picking him up and potentially hurting that said program that you felt like did the right thing
within conference.
Within conference, we've heard these same upsetting remarks from some fans of some opposing teams to us here at Auburn. But again, your thoughts, Andy?
Well, Auburn is uniquely in a position not to cast stones here, and with Trey Matthews coming on board and Auburn welcoming him, I would assume that he is had a conversation and has been set down, and much like you read the article about Dorial Green Beckham, he's on a zero tolerance policy. It's a little different. I mean, Trey Matthews, he wrote a bad check or cashed a check twice, disrupted class or whatever, was never arrested for anything. Green Beckham has got 2 arrests for marijuana plus an altercation where a female was allegedly pushed down some stairs. So I think, when he came out, it sounded like, when he was dismissed from Missouri, it sounded like he took full responsibility for it. He said, look, I got a lot of growing up to do. I need some help. I got to get my life together, and I applauded him for that. I thought it was a great first step. He goes to, and apparently he has signed with Oklahoma. Now it's just a matter of whether they're going to let him play. He has applied for a waiver to play this year. I don't know how in the world that happens. I'm not shocked by anything that happens anymore, but I'd be surprised if that went through.
Let's go back to the phone line. Shadow and Prattville, you're on Sports Call.
Yeah, thank you for taking my call. I guess I was fairly shocked. I was calling to ask you if that decision had already gone through and he was allowed to play.
I don't know. I don't think it has yet. I think it has been applied for. The NCAA, I assume, probably can't flatly say no. They have to take these situations and investigate them and make, do their due diligence or whatever. But I just can't. I can't possibly see how they would allow that.
Well, I wanted to comment on the most, I guess, painful loss for Auburn, and for me, it was in 1983. Now, don't get me wrong, the LSU game was a killer, but me and my whole family watched Auburn beat Michigan, and we felt pretty confident that Auburn would win the national title, but we didn't. And, I read an article today where, Tuberville is still perplexed as to why the NCAA will not declare a champion in 04 when I don't know, do y'all see a good reason as to why
Auburn is not champion, and have you heard any further comment on the titles that Auburn may claim?
As far as I know, that is still being talked about. No final decisions have been made. Obviously, the verbiage changed on the website. That's I think here to stay. But as far as they officially doing it and putting it on the stadium, I guess that is a different scenario. Now, as far as that 83, yeah, that was extremely disappointing. The Texas loss is one that was extremely disappointing. Auburn was obviously as good or better than Texas that year. You look at their common opponents. Auburn just it was one of those days where they didn't really show up.
Nobody. Auburn, with the schedule that they had, and Auburn playing through that schedule, I mean, it reminds me a lot of this year, because I got to tell you, I believe the best team in Auburn's history is fixing to hit the field this year. And if we end up at the end of the season, number 5 with 1 loss, and if you listen to the prognosticators and everybody predicting, even last year with a 1-loss team, that Alabama was the best team. I mean, to me, I don't know what we're going to do. I know that I've said a lot about it, but there's no way in the world that anybody can tell me and convince me that now that we have the 3rd to the 5th toughest schedule in the country, that you look at it and the only explanation is the fact that Tennessee is not as good as they used to be. You just cannot, you can't fulfill the canyon of difference between the schedule strength of teams in the SEC and stand there and look anybody in the face and say that it's fair. Everybody plays each other when the schedules are fairly consistent across the board each year. And the more we go, the more separation there gets between Auburn and LSU and Georgia playing the kinds of or maybe South Carolina. I'm not sure, but the teams that play the easier schedules seem to play the easier schedules, and Auburn has even gone up above and beyond by adding a tougher schedule this year and looking into playing either some major school out there that's in the discussion. I think it could possibly be Texas or Oregon. So I just don't know what Jacobs is thinking. I don't know why we can't meet in Destin or something and, make it fair for everybody instead of the haves keep getting the haves and the have-nots keep getting the tougher schedule opponent. Thank you.
Thank you, Shadow. Great points. We're going to go ahead and take our mid-hour break here in the second hour of Sports Call, brought to you by Auburn Urgent Care. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Pat Dye. I'd like to tell you why I've been a Ware Jewelers customer for more than 30 years. I like the people, I like the jewelry, and I like the prices. Ware Jewelers has been perfecting what they do since 1946. Their quality is great. They treat each and every customer like a close friend. This is Coach Dye, and in football, I like the Tigers. In jewelry, my choice is Ware Jewelers. Ware Jewelers, Auburn, Opelika, Montgomery, and Spanish Fort.
It was just one of those days. I had a million things to do. This was the last thing I was expecting.
No matter how well you drive, things happen. And when they do, the ASE certified technicians at Franklin Tire and Auto know there's only one way to fix it, the right way. From accident repair to factory scheduled maintenance, Franklin Tire will give you honest, dependable service at a competitive price. Proudly serving the area since 1970 and still locally owned and operated.
No shortcuts, no compromise, and friendly service every time. Franklin Tire and Auto in Auburn, 821-4572 and FranklinAutoInc.com.
Mosquitoes, one of the summer's most dreaded sounds. For grown-ups, mosquitoes can make yard work drudgery. For kids, they can take all the fun out of playing in the yard. It's time to reclaim your yard with Cook's Mosquito Patrol. Enjoy your patio or deck this summer the way it was meant to be, without wearing bug spray or feeling like you're being eaten alive. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie. Cook's Pest Control.
I'm so tired of eating pizza.
You want a real meal? You know, just like Mama's home cooking. Then dine in, carry out, or have veggies to go on South College cater your next meal. You can eat food just like Mom's, 7 days a week, and have something different every day. Pork chops, country fried steak and gravy, meatloaf, and more. Served with all kinds of fresh veggies and casseroles. And don't miss out on Miss Jeannie's homemade desserts. So when you're craving the comfort from home, it's always veggies to go on South College in Auburn.
It's Fueling Happy Hour all day, every day at TK's West Pace on Shell Tumor Parkway and TK's on West Longleaf Drive. Come by either TK's location for a fill-up and get a free fountain drink. That's right, come by TK's next to the West Pace Auto Mall on Shell Tumor Parkway or TK's on West Longleaf Drive anytime. Fill up on high-quality Chevron gasoline and quench your thirst with a free fountain drink. It's always Happy Hour at TK's, Shell Tumor Parkway and West Longleaf stores only.
Gotta get the Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Got to get the Gills. East Alabama, we're here to say a new Gills location is on the way. 28 years of doing what we do, serving your friends, family, and you. Hurry on down and don't be late. We're at Opelika exit 58. Gotta get the Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Got to get the Gills. Selection and price. Got to get the Gills. Gotta get the Gills.
In a world where time is money, only one team can conquer all your printing and marketing needs, big or small. Call the A-Team, Allegra Printing. The experts at Allegra can handle it all, from concept, copywriting, and design, to printing, targeting, and mailing. They're local, knowledgeable, accurate, and quick. Don't risk your company's success on a faceless, faraway online imitator. There can be only one. Allegra Printing, your A-Team in Auburn. At the University Crossing Shopping Center, behind McAllister's Deli. Allegra-auburnal.com.
Tiger Iron Gym is celebrating Independence Day with an unbeatable special for our military servicemen and women, police, fire, and EMTs. Bring in your service ID or pay stub anytime in July. Not only will Tiger Iron Gym waive the sign-up fee, but you'll also get a full membership for only $15 a month. Heroes never take a day off, and neither does Tiger Iron Gym. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Right next to the Big Blue Bookstore in South College. Tiger Iron Gym, your hometown gym, thanks you for everything you do.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Call. I'm Andy Graham alongside my partner, Randy Lee. This Sports Call brought to you by Always Money. Had a lot of great calls. Shadow brought up an interesting he talks a lot about the schedule and the fairness of the schedule. I think they probably have got it about as good as you can do it. There's always going to be some unfairness in it. I know Les Miles complains about LSU having to play Florida every year, but look, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, those teams need to play the Kentuckys and the Vanderbilts of the SEC. Your higher level teams just are going to have to play higher level teams. That's just the way that it is. That's the way that it's going to have to be. I think going into a schedule, I don't think you can say this is tough. This schedule is going to be tough, or that schedule is going to be easy going into a season, because you never really know how those teams are going to play.
When you look at this schedule for Auburn, though, I think anybody would definitely point to at Alabama as being the toughest game going into the season. So, and with media days coming up next week, that's what we're supposed to be doing, is speculating on our thoughts. If you look at some other games, I'm going to run down the schedule real quick, and I want to get some thoughts. What are some games that pop off to you as the toughest ones outside of that Alabama game? We kick off August 30th, Arkansas. Arkansas only 3-9 last year. Second game, San Jose State, 6-6 last year. Open date, September 18th at Kansas State, 8-5 last year. Kansas State. Louisiana Tech's 4-8. That's the following week. LSU 10-3 is on October the 4th. October the 11th at Mississippi State, 7-6 last year. Another open date, October 25th, South Carolina. We've got them at home at 11-2 last year. At Ole Miss, November the 1st. Texas A&M is at home, on the road at Georgia, Samford in between that road game at Georgia, and Alabama also on the road. Go, Andy. I've said Alabama top. Which other one stands out to you as a tough one?
Well, honestly, it's that 2-game stretch, LSU and at Mississippi State. You got 2 games that are always the most physical games on the schedule besides Alabama. We've got to prove that we can beat LSU. A lot of people are worried about that Kansas State game. I'm not really worried about that game. I think we're going to have an extra week to prepare. Yes, we go out there, but if we lose to Kansas State, we're not that good anyway. So, if we beat LSU, we're going to be beat up. It's going to take a lot out of us. We got to turn around the next week and travel to Starkville to play what I believe will be an improved Mississippi State team. Those 2 games back-to-back, they scare me.
Mississippi State last year, we couldn't run the football. And after that game, we just imposed our will on just about everybody that we played. And Mississippi State, good up front. Jones up on the defensive front. I think he's potentially a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. That we just mentioned, that linebacker that's the number 11 on the Freaks next year list, that Sammy Coates came in at number 1, 6'5", 250 pounds, runs a 4.4. Mississippi State's always got some bulls right there.
Sounds like an Alabama linebacker.
It does. It sounds like a Dante Hightower or a McLean that is, by the way, deciding to come back to football after a few years' absence. The game that worries me, and I know that it's every year, but it's again on the road at Georgia. Georgia, we get the miracle at Jordan-Hare last year, but outside of 2010, they've won 6 out of the last 8, and they've had our number, and there's no other way to spin it. And hopefully we can get over the hump and beat them a couple of years in a row. And this Georgia team with a new quarterback coming in, I can only expect for Aaron Murray leaving this Georgia team to be down a little bit. They do have great running backs returning, but I do feel like they're down. But that is the one that scares me. I'm hoping that we can take care of LSU at home. Unfortunate, lost to them last year, but still make it to the national title game. But I'd love to see us get over the hump and beat a Georgia team that's a good team on the road at their place by a 10 to 14 point margin. I mean, it's been a long time since we've been able to do that to Georgia outside of that Cam Newton season.
Should have done it last year. Hold on in the fourth quarter, have one more drive, score a touchdown. We win by 21 points last year. Are we going to have enough left? We play South Carolina at home, go to Ole Miss, come back and play Texas A&M. We all think, and a lot of people do, and I myself think Texas A&M is going to be down, but every year he seems to find a quarterback that is just out of this world. Are they going to find another one? Texas A&M may be the toughest team on our schedule. We don't know that yet. That's kind of my point. San Jose State may win 10 games. I don't know. They may win 4 like they did last year, but South Carolina, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, then you go to Georgia. Are we going to have enough left, that being the 4th game? Is Nick Marshall going to be healthy? That could be, like you say, that's the capper there. If we can get through Georgia, hey, Samford is the lamb to the slaughter. And then, we go to Tuscaloosa to, have a chance to win it all, go to the SEC title game. So the schedule is very daunting. But I believe this team has what it takes to run it. I really do.
SEC Media Days next week. Which other team outside of Auburn are you looking forward to hearing from? Mine is South Carolina. Can Steve Spurrier win an SEC title? What he's done in the last 3 years deserves the applaud that he's getting from the rest of the country. 11 win seasons. Only makes it to that one SEC championship game and gets dismantled by Cam Newton and the remainder of that great Auburn team that year. So how about you, Andy? Who will you be looking forward to hearing from next week?
I think that's a good one. Spurrier's always entertaining. And oddly enough, I think I'm kind of looking forward to see what Brett Bielema does. He's always seems to cause some kind of stir. What's it going to be this year? Is he going to bring back up? Is he going to play nice? He says, "Oh, look, me and Gus, we're friends." It was all blown out of proportion. Is he going to bring back up the slow down? Is he going to try to push that again? What's he going to say this time? He's 0-8 in the SEC as a head coach. Nowhere to go but up. And there's another thing. Everybody thinks Arkansas is a guaranteed win. What if they get to year 2 bump that you usually see from the SEC coach? They're a quality team. They go out and win 8 or 9 games. That becomes a really tough game to start your schedule. So
888-9-TIGER-9, 334-887-3401, our question of the day, and it was brought to you by Lee Marketing Group in honor of Germany dismantling Brazil today, 7-1. What's the most disappointed or humiliated you've been leaving an Auburn football game, or if you're a fan of another school, we'd love to hear which game did you leave or watch you left completely humiliated, because this record right here that I'm about to give to you, because nobody's going to call in and get the correct answer, we're getting that far. Brazil has not lost a home soccer match since 1975. They have been 43-0-19, 62 matchups without losing a soccer match, and they lose in the semis of a World Cup at home 7-1 today, and you saw the crowd. The poor kids in the crowd, 3-0 down. They were beside themselves. They didn't know what was going on, but 7-1 today, a dismantling, and it will be the storyline, I guess, leaving this tournament.
Yeah, like you said, when it was 3-0, you thought, this is disastrous. And you looked at the crowd, and they were stunned, and babies were crying, mothers were consoling children, men were, you could see the anger, trying to fight back tears. When it was 4-0, they said, this could get out of hand. When it was 5-0, they said no mas. When it was 6-0, they said we quit. I mean, now it's 7-1. What do you? It's like, I don't know if they stuck around, but it's like us at that Texas A&M game. In the first quarter, I said this is bad. The second quarter, I said I'm gone. I'm not sticking around.
I do keep coming back to that game as the one that I remember being the most disgusted. Is that another word I can throw out there? Yes. Disgusted was the word. And I can remember some fans sitting behind us. Justin and I went to the game together, and some fans sitting behind us when they scored first or second play of the second quarter and went up 28-0. And we immediately stood up and walked out of the stadium. And some fans sitting behind us said, y'all aren't real Auburn fans. You got to sit through this. It's not always going to be good. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm not sitting here and watching this anymore. I don't care who tells me I'm not a good Auburn fan. I don't care what I'm hearing. It's 28-0. We're one play into the second quarter, and anybody that's watching this can tell I don't have anything to do with them quitting. They've already quit down there, and that's what we saw today in that Brazil and Germany game.
Yeah, you could definitely see it. When it was 3-0, I think that was at the point where Brazil said, because I believe it was they scored the third goal, and Brazil kicked off and just lackadaisically, passed it back to the fullback, and the German guy he just took it away. And, 3 guys were there, bounced it off a couple of times, goal number 4. Boom, boom. And I think you could see that, look, that happens, and but they had been playing so well, I think, and they, everybody thought maybe they were the favorite to win this thing. Coming into that Auburn game, Auburn was having a terrible season already. We were just hoping we could keep it close. We had any designs on winning that game, so I think this adds to what we were talking about, just the shock and awe, the humiliation from the Brazilians. I hope they don't protest and uproot the government over there, so because they take it pretty serious.
Reminder, we will be on the road covering media days next week, Monday through Thursday. If you're looking for the schedule, on Monday morning it will be Auburn and Mike Slive. Monday afternoon, Florida and Vandy. On Tuesday, it will be Mississippi State and South Carolina that morning, Tennessee and A&M that afternoon. On Wednesday, Steve Shaw and Missouri that morning, Arkansas and LSU that afternoon, and then Thursday to close it out, Georgia and Ole Miss that morning, Alabama and Kentucky to close out the afternoon session. So we'll be there from 4 to 6 every afternoon here with Sportscall AU, and we'll try to pick up as much as we can next week during media days that we can pass along to you, the fan out there.
Yeah, it should be a whole lot of fun. Should be very interesting to get up there. I expect it to be a madhouse, kind of how it always is. Especially on the first and the last day. That seems to be when the most fans come out and really kind of get everything riled up. We asked this today. Who's Gus Malzahn going to bring with him? Who do you think he ought to bring to SEC Media Days. Usually the coach brings 2 players. Usually they're team leaders, they're seniors, whatever. Auburn has had some. Usually you see guys that are very well spoken. They always come up, dressed to the nines. They, represent Auburn extremely well in everything that they do. So it'll be very interesting to see who he does bring.
I'd love to see Sammy Coates there for Auburn. As a fan that follows social media and see how a player interacts or the rest of the fan base thinks about, Lutz was that way. You could tell the entire Auburn fan base loved that guy. And Sammy Coates, you get the same feeling. I get the same feeling. The Auburn fan base loves Sammy Coates. And what he did last year, look, when you run the numbers and you jump as high and you've got the size that this guy has, and hopefully the season he's about to put together, you're not going to get him around much longer. And Auburn coaching staff clearly understands this as they work in this profession. So I'd love to see him have the opportunity to go over for Media Days.
Going ahead and get to our final break of this sports call presented by Always Money. We'll be back right after this.
Ever wondered what LMG can do for you? The possibilities are endless.
LMG offers custom apparel and promotional products, any type of signage and vehicle wraps, web design and internet marketing, video production, paper products, and more. Visit us online at leemarketing.net. 3 locations to best serve you: Madison Street in Alexander City, Highway 280 in Dadeville, and Frederick Road in Auburn. LMG, success by design.
Auburn Urgent Care, located on South College in Auburn and on Enterprise Drive in Opelika near Tigertown, offers convenient solutions to your health care and occupational medicine needs. We offer workman's compensation injury care, and we have a certified DOT medical examiner on staff. It's not about speed. It's about the quality of care. We're open 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekends in Auburn, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday in Opelika. Walk-ins are welcome. Auburn Urgent Care. 334-821-3221 in Auburn or 334-749-9191 in Opelika. Visit us online at auburnurgentcare.com. Proud of our past, confident in our future. And for your primary health care needs, visit Family Health Clinic at 1456 Opelika Road in Auburn. 334-826-8951. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It's always something. Your car needs a new tire, tuition is due. It's down to the wire. Cheerleading outfit, soccer shoes, football pads, or annual dues. Nellie's in band. She needs a trombone. Good golly Molly, you need a loan. Jimmy broke his arm. He needs a cast. You need money, and you need it fast. When life comes at you, Always Money can help you through. It's easy, convenient, friendly, and fast. You'll get the cash you need the day you need it. So stop by or visit alwaysmoney.com. How much can we loan you today? Borrowers often use payday loans over a period of months, which can be expensive.
When you're looking for the best chicken fingers and wings in town, nothing else will hit the spot better than JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has everything you need to curb a big appetite, and they have all-you-can-eat chicken fingers on Monday night and all-you-can-eat wings on Tuesday night. Any child wearing their City League uniform eats for $1.99 on the kids menu. Check out our Facebook page daily for our dine-in special. Visit us at 145 Alabama Street in Alex City.
There's no doubt that high school and college athletics rule the state of Alabama. Increase exposure for your business by spending your advertising dollars on the best sports programming in Alabama with Sports Blitz, Sportscall, and the AHSAA radio network. In a sports-hungry state like Alabama, Sports Blitz, Sportscall, and the AHSAA radio network will offer your business the best return on investment. We have packages designed to fit any budget. Call today, 256-794-8223.
Before the big game on Saturday, tune in to Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown on FM Talk 95.9.
An answered prayer.
From 10 a.m. to noon, Luke Robinson, Brett Pritchard, and Randy Lee break down the day's biggest games and the latest news from around the sports world.
It's good. It's good.
You can call in at 800-782-0108 or watch live at sportsblitzlive.com. That's sports with a Z.
Appreciate your interest in the game.
Saturday Sports Countdown this Saturday, 10 a.m. to noon.
Looking for the most comprehensive sports show in Alabama? Catch Sports Blitz Live from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. Join Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, and Luke Robinson as they discuss the latest in high school, collegiate, and nationwide athletics. Tune in to FM Talk 95.9, watch live on ACN Charter Channel 80, or catch the live stream at sportsblitzlive.com. That's sports with a Z. That's Sports Blitz Live, Tuesday, 7 to 9 p.m.
To all of you out there listening on 93.9, The Tiger, and the millions listening around the world via the web, I'm Andy Graham. He is Randy Lee. This is Sports Call, brought to you by Auburn Urgent Care. This segment brought to you by Resource Natural Spring Water. Resource bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic, which is great for the environment. Right now, TK's convenience stores are offering a buy one, get one free special on bottles of Resource Natural Spring Water.
Was that your go at being the ringside announcer?
That's it.
that was as close as you and I are going to get to that. What did Michael Buffer, what did he get paid to do? It was some obscene number.
It was $1 million a pop, I believe.
$1 million for him to pull that off.
To say, I can't even say it. I get sued.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Russell in Auburn, you're on Sports Call.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Good. How about you, Russell?
Hey, man, doing good. I just got to thinking about some of the embarrassing losses y'all are talking about. I don't know, y'all maybe already mentioned them. First, a couple come to mind. 2003 to open up against USC, ranked number 6. We've been out there the year before, probably should have won that game with Jason Campbell. Ended up losing a real close game. And then come home, open the year, like I said, almost a top 5 team, Carlos Dansby, all those cats, Tom Thomas, supposed to have a dominant defense. That game could have been 50-0. They absolutely destroyed us. Carnell couldn't do anything. Neither could Ronnie Brown. I mean, it was just, I remember walking away from that game. I was in college, and I was just so embarrassed that we're supposed to be that good and just absolutely got trounced. And then another one was LSU in 05. Kenny Irons calls 200 yards before the game. He gets it, runs for 223, and we missed 5 field goals, including overtime. I remember walking away from that game and being like, oh, my gosh, I've never been more embarrassed when we should have won a game. But I just thought I'd throw my 2 cents out there. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks, Russell. And that last game's one that hasn't been brought up, but Andy, he tooted your horn. He was dead on with that opening game in 2003.
But, Carnell Williams, we go out to California in 2002. Carnell does not eat lunch, gets cramped, runs wild, almost for 100 yards in the first half, gets cramps, does not play the rest of the game. Auburn ends up, USC goes on a death march in the fourth quarter, punches it in, I believe wins 20-17. You come back the next year, Auburn has got all this. Jason Campbell's back, Ronnie, Carnell. We've added, Trey Smith. We've got Brandon Jacobs. They were on the cover of, New York Times, the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, maybe the best backfield in college football. Yada, yada, yada. Bobby Petrino leaves, goes to Louisville. We decide not to go out and hire an offensive coordinator. We make Hugh Nall and Steve Ensminger co-offensive coordinators, which is about, one of them's going to come up with a game plan, one of them's going to call plays. That is always a dumb idea. And, like I mentioned earlier, Campbell comes out, throws an interception on the first play of the game. And, it was a Norm Chow staple. The first play of the second half, they would always run a quarterback bootleg out to the tight end. Tight end would just go out in the flat. You'd have a naked boot by the quarterback. And, every time I ever watched a Norm Chow offense, the same play. I sat there and looked at my brother. I said, second half, they're going to throw the tight end. He did. He ran for 60 yards. They went down to about the 10-yard line and ended up punching it in. It was brutally hot. It was brutally disappointing. I'm right there with you, Russell.
We had a lot of games that were brought up today, and Andy, this is what we're going to do with this program. Heading into football season, we'll try to break it down best as we know how, but more importantly, we want to hear from you out there. Call in, and a lot of what you want to call in about is the same thing that Andy and I want to talk about, and that's Auburn football, and you'll get your opportunity here on Sports Call.
No doubt about it, absolutely. Look, Braves have won 9 out of 11. on a hot streak. I think they'd won 13 out of 17. Finally, we get to talk about the Braves a little bit here. Now, they have lost 2 in a row, but still playing better.
I almost brought them up. Minnesota Twins, Kirby Puckett game, disappointing, wanting to throw up, so upsetting because this was when the Braves, growing up in the 80s as a Braves fan, when Gerald Perry was the best thing you had over there at first, Dale Murphy a little bit there in the middle, but that was some pitiful baby blue uniforms that they had out there. The Braves were terrible, and to have that early 90s team make it to a World Series and to watch the way that thing ended up with John Smoltz losing what was a gem that he threw with Kirby Puckett, getting the win there from Minnesota. That's one that disappointed me as much as any Auburn game.
Yeah, I can even top that for me. Game 4, New York Yankees, Atlanta Braves. Mark Wohlers comes in, throws slider after slider after slider to Frito Leyritz, and he finally puts one in the seats. Braves, you were up 6-1, I think. Just you talk about devastated. That was one of the most bitter losses I think I've ever endured.
But the Braves, 9 out of 9 wins, 2 losses in the last 11. Can't ask for much better, and that's what the Braves do to you.
Absolutely.
Streaky team as long as I can remember.
Got the Mets and the Cubs right before the All-Star break. Got to make some hay here because they're only a half game ahead of the Washington Nationals. That's going to do it for this edition of Sports Call, presented by Always Money and Auburn Urgent Care. We appreciate so much all of our listeners. I'm Andy Graham. He's Randy Lee. So long for now. We'll talk again soon.